well. Bernard?
Bernard answer the question there.
That was a very, very interesting question. The question, why is it that newsmakers prefer legacy to build legacy media as opposed to new large media formats? And I think for me, this is not scientific. It's not based on research. It's not based on research. But there are three factors. One is attitudinal. It's a bit of time to change. The other one is cultural. They have been at it for so long. It has been embedded in the DNA. That's how they operate. We believe that news has to come from legacy or has to be produced by legacy. And then the other one is structural. Structural in the sense that for a very, very long time, our approach to news making has followed certain structures. And those certain structures are deeply embedded within societies. And therefore, that's how they do it. Structural in the sense that, also in the sense that legacy media has built platforms that are really, really critical over time. And for me, as a journalist, I keep saying that our product is not a platform. It's not the standard newspaper of the Daily Nation or KTN. Our product is the content that we produce. And therefore, when you look at a lot of the content that is produced by legacy media, the time and effort and professionalism and skills invested in the production of that, compared to what a lot of people who are coming up in the digital space, then you find that the structural investments in legacy afford them the opportunity to do better in producing this content. For me, I think legacy media is relatively more aggressive compared to new media formats. I mean, just look at this. I know it's cake, but how many other people other than you who are operating in other spaces are members of cake? So that will tell you that the aggressiveness that we see is during platforms and operations like these ones, but also permeates their daily operations and then forms the kind of content that they produce. I spoke about the question of credibility, media products, and the platforms that they make, and the issue of the fact that, for instance, if you're a writer and you want to call a press conference, how will you call it and who will attend that press conference? Chances are it's legacy media that will attend. It will take a bit of time to change that. The audiences have shifted online, that's a fact, but the newsmakers and advertisers have not made that shift yet, which is why I was talking about attitudinal, cultural, and structural issues. But I want to speak briefly about the question asked about Congo and why it appears to be the epicenter of everything that is wrong with what we've been going through. I think COVID introduced to us the concept, the issue of zoonosis. For a very long time in the media, we were never talking about zoonosis. But the fact that we, for the first time, we had a global pandemic that was zoonotic in nature meant that we had to take a lot of action and a lot of interest in things surrounding us. Why now? Why Congo? Why zoonosis? And so on and so forth. And therefore we started, for instance, studying the concept of One Health, which is very, very important, and I believe it's going to be very, very important even for the next decade. One Health, studies the interconnectedness of we human beings, of animals, and the environment that we live in. And for the first time, we realized that the fact that we are encroaching on these habitats, the fact that we are eating bats, for instance, we never used to. Our behaviors are changing. We are occupying spaces that we ordinarily didn't occupy. Means that it's very possible for those pathogens that are being in those spaces to jump into human populations. I was very happy when we talked about the research into camels, because I remember we were also doing some studies. We looked at coronaviruses in camels and in bats in Taita Taveta, and we realized that these viruses had existed with us for a very, very long time. And the question is, have they just started jumping into human populations now because we are more and more encroaching into those habitats? So study very carefully the issue of One Health and what it means in the zoonotic space. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. The last round of our questions now.